Recent discoveries that could change our past. Stonehenge. For decades, Stonehenge was considered to be a remote location where ancient rituals occurred. From myths of magic to alien visits, there is little to no information as to why Stonehenge was built. But in 2013, David Jacques led a dig that led to the discovery of aurochs bones, which were vital as a source of food and agriculture. By using carbon dating, Jacques has discovered that perhaps Stonehenge was closer to civilization than otherwise indicated. This is forcing historians to reconsider past assumptions on the famous historical site. Area 51. Area 51 was a product of legend and lore in the 20th century. With so much research going on into alien existence and UFOs, a lot of the data was chalked up as a hoax as there was no government support in verifying the facts. But now, the United States government has admitted to the existence of Area 51, which is a military base dedicated to testing and training. While there's no indication that the base is dedicated to extraterrestrial research, previous witness accounts are now being reconsidered. Buddha's birthday. The age of Buddha and his actual birthday remained a mystery until only recently when there was a dig at a suspected birthplace of the holy man. Buddha, also known as Siddhartha Gautama, is thought to have been born around 563 BCE. The dig in Nepal has recently revealed that Buddha most likely lived in the 6th century after a timber structure was discovered under a brick temple. Among the ruins was a tree trunk, and history indicates that Gautama Buddha was born underneath a tree. Arti. Over the last 2 decades, archaeologists made new discoveries indicating that they found the oldest skeleton on Earth and tried to bridge the missing link to our human evolution. The oldest human skeleton to date was discovered in 1994 and is approximately 4.4 million years old. The skeleton has been named Arti and is believed to be man's oldest ancestor. Arti's anatomy is quite different because it's not a human and it's not a chimp, forcing scientists to rewrite history on our own origins. The discovery of Australia. James Cook is credited for discovering Australia in 1770. However, a set of coins that were found in 1944, then sent to a museum in 1979, were ignored for the longest time. After careful analysis of the coins, along with a map that was sent to Marie Eisenberg, who marked X to indicate where he found the coins in 1944, historians found something startling. The coins actually date back to the year 900 to 1300, meaning that James Cook didn't actually discover Australia. Water. Since the time that man looked up to the stars, there have been theories to whether there is life on other planets, and whether humans could set up new civilizations. Over the last few decades, NASA has released satellites and rovers to scope out the planet of Mars. In the meantime, astronomers and scientists made assumptions that shaped our view of the solar system, but in April of 2015, water was discovered in the soil. Not only does this mean that water exists outside of our planet, but potentially we can inhabit another planet soon. Jamestown. Jamestown is a location of the first settlement of England in North America. The settlers were met with a very rude awakening with harsh winters and taking drastic measures in order to survive. One of these measures was cannibalism. While there was little historical data mentioning eating humans, there wasn't a lot of archaeological data to support the theory. But in 2008, William Kelso and his team discovered the skull of a girl, which they named Jane, in an ancient trash heap among other animals like horses and pigs that would have been consumed to avoid starvation. The markings and cuts around the skull were consistent with cannibalism habits, which means our early ancestors ate each other to survive. Eris. Many of us heard about Pluto's demotion to a dwarf planet, but not everyone understands why. In 2005, astronomers discovered a dwarf planet named Eris. The problem with Eris is that it's bigger than Pluto. For the first time, scientists had to actually define what a planet is. Thus, Pluto was demoted to join the rank of Eris. The International Astronomical Union had to go over the terms of how to define a planet, but now there are some scientists fighting to get Pluto back to her original rank by changing the definition of a planet. Göbekli Tepe. For hundreds of years, it was believed that Stonehenge was the site of the oldest civilization in the world. But in the 1960s, a mountain civilization called Göbekli Tepe was discovered. It was originally thought to be a medieval cemetery, but in 2008, Klaus Schmidt discovered markings on several large stones that indicated otherwise. The stones are dated back 11,000 years and were designed by early man before tools were ever invented. Richard III. For hundreds of years, it was unknown as to whatever happened to King Richard III, who ruled England from 1483 to 1485. He died at the Battle of Bosworth Field, but the location of his remains were unknown until 2012, when remains were found underneath a parking lot in Leicester. Because of this discovery, historians and archaeologists were finally able to confirm Richard's cause of death, as well as gather valuable genetic data on the monarch.